Nara Park is a large park in central Nara. Established in 1880, it is the location of many of Nara's main attractions including Tadaiji, Kasuga Taisha, Kofukuji and the Nara National Museum. It is also home to hundreds of freely roaming deer. Considered the messengers of the gods, Nara's over 1,000 deer have become a symbol of the city and have even been designated as a natural treasure. Deer crackers are for sale around the park, and some deer have learned to bow to visitors to ask to be fed. Nara's deer are surprisingly tame, although they can be aggressive if they think you will feed them, so make sure not to tease them with food. The vast area covers 660 hectares and is renowned for its free-roaming deer and world-famous temples. Feeding the deer is an attraction in itself and special crackers are on sale all around the park. For human refreshments, there are traditional tea houses as well as kiosks selling snacks and souvenirs. Nara Park covers a broad area, and in fact a portion of it is made up by the grounds of Kasuga Taisha Shrine. The deity enshrined therein is Takemi Kijichi no Makoto, said to have ridden to Nara upon a sacred deer from Kashima Shrine in Ibaraki Prefecture. Because of this legend, deer were thought of as sacred animals. The helpers of Godzan have been carefully protected for many years. Even today, Nara's deer are carefully protected as natural monuments. According to local folklore, Sika deer from this area were considered sacred due to a visit from Takamikazuchi, one of the four gods of Kasuga Grand Shrine. He was said to have been invited from Kashima Shrine in present-day Ibaraki Prefecture, and appeared on Mount Mikasa riding a white deer. From that point, the deer were considered divine and sacred by both Kasuga Grand Shrine and Kofukuji. Killing one of these sacred deer was a capital offense punishable by death up until 1637, the last recorded date of a breach of that law. After World War II, the deer were officially stripped of their sacred/divine status, and were instead designated as natural monument and are protected as such. Today, visitors can purchase deer crackers to feed the deer in the park. Mount Wakakusayama is the grass-covered mountain behind Nara Park, located between Tadaiji Temple and Kasuga Shrine. The mountain is about 350 meters tall and affords unobstructed views over Nara City. Tourists are allowed to climb Mount Wakakusayama all year round except during winter. A small entrance fee is charged. The grassy slope of the mountain is lined by cherry trees that are usually in full bloom around early April. A steep trail leads along the leftmost edge of the slope to a plateau halfway up the mountain with great views over the city. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to reach the plateau and many people turn back here. An additional 20 to 30 minutes get you to the mountain's peak. Every winter on the fourth Saturday of January, Mount Wakakusayama's slopes are burned during the spectacular Wakakusa Yamayaki. The origins of the event are unclear. One theory claims that it resulted from a boundary dispute, while another claims the fires were used to drive away wild boars. The burning of the mountain is preceded by a short fireworks display. Nara is known for its deer crackers, or shika senbei, but in fact the deer within Nara Park are wild animals, and are perfectly capable of finding their own food. Throughout the year, a deer will typically eat several varieties of plant, including grass, silver pampas grass, and other varieties of land grasses. Nara's deer are actually divided into two types based on their diet: park deer, who reside in the flatlands of Nara Park, and Mount Wakakusa deer. For both, however, grass makes up the majority of their meals. This great dependence on grass makes Nara deer very different from other species of deer in Japan. The so-called deer line refers to the height of 190 to 195 centimeters at which the deer typically graze on plants and low branches. Because of this part of the forest is typically cleared, and provides a far-reaching line of sight. For the deer in Nara Park, grass is obviously the most important component of their diet. So what's in a deer cracker? The answer is wheat flour and rice bran. These treats are made without any sugar for the health of the deer, making them completely safe for visitors to offer the animals. Deer crackers are a registered trademark of the Foundation for the Protection of Deer in Nara, and a portion of their profits goes to efforts to protect the deer. The sound of a horn blowing in Nara marks the sound of the season, for this particular horn is associated with the deer call, in which the deer are called and herded together with the sound of a horn. This tradition was begun in 1862 with the opening of the Deer Park, which is said to have been marked with the blowing of a horn. The practice has been passed on since then, and is now an event held several times a year at Tobihino, to the south of the road leading to Kasuga Taisha Shrine. With a sounding of the natural horn, the deer of Nara emerge from within the forest to cluster around the blower. It is said this is a sight that can only be seen in Nara. Come and enjoy the natural peace of this morning scene for yourself. The grand tradition of the antler cutting ceremony is a highlight of the ancient city's events. It was begun in the Edo period, 1603 to 1868, for safety reasons, and in an effort to protect the trees of Nara Park. A buck's antlers are an important symbol for the animal, and while it is a shame to remove them, this antler cutting event is born of tradition, that the people and deer of Nara may better live together peacefully. Those who would like to learn more about Nara's deer are encouraged to visit Rokuen. Rokuen is an enclosure for the deer, located to the south of the stone lantern-lined path leading to Kasuga Taisha Shrine. Every April, the pregnant does of the herd, approximately 200, are placed within the enclosure to safely birth their young. In mid-July, once the fawns are able to keep up with their mothers, the public is able to view the cute youngsters in a special event called Kojika Kokai, presentation of the fawns. An area with detailed information about the deer will be available, and a special program, targeted mainly towards school groups, will be held to teach visitors about these special animals. Unlike most deer in Japan, Nara's deer live unusually close to humans. Because of this, it is necessary for us to exercise great caution in how we interact with the deer, in order to continue to coexisting peacefully with the deer of Nara Park. Please keep the following in mind as you make your visit to Nara. Please exercise great caution when driving in the vicinity of Nara Park, as the deer are known to jump out suddenly. The deer cannot digest human food, please do not give it to them. Please be especially careful not to leaving behind plastic bags or other trash, as they may endanger the lives of deer upon accidental ingestion. To prevent this, trash cans are located throughout Nara Park. Please dispose of your trash properly in the bins, or carry it home with you. In an average year, the leaves start changing color sometime in October in Nara. The peak of autumn color usually comes in mid-November, and you can usually see colors on the trees until mid-December. Thus, in an average year, the foliage season in Nara lasts from October 15th to December 15th, with a peak